Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on? You can't see us yet because I'm behind the eight ball today. Jason Galvin, what's up?
Yeah, what's up? Why
I
are you
didn't
behind
have
the eight ball?
I didn't have my headphones going. I didn't have the microphone plugged. That's why I had to go to settings. That's why we started a little later.
Yeah. Usually I'm like, you drink a Bloody Mary already? Attaboy.
Say what?
That looked like a Bloody Mary.
No, it's just watch her. I'm trying to hydrate.
Oh, I got excited. I was like, damn, look at J-Lo go. Still in Vegas mode.
Bro,
Still in Vegas mode.
Dude, it is taking me so long to get back in the saddle. I worked twice this past weekend, or this past week. I worked Wednesday, corporate gig. Saturday, the greatest corporate gig ever. I basically had to play. I DJ'd for a basketball tournament that consisted of 12 people. 11 people, excuse me. It was 11 people.
What was it, one-on-one?
Yeah, dude, it was kind of silly. It was for corporate people that needed time to get out of their situation. It was basically 1 to 3, and yeah, man, I made I made more than what I make in an NHRA weekend in 2 hours.
Oh, attaboy.
Yeah.
Essex brought friends. Essex and Derek. Thank you.
Thank you, boys.
Hello.
Derek's a good listener because he is
Derek's the man.
He's older than we are, Jason, and he knows more about the internet than we do.
I'm not old.
I know you're not, but and I'm not dogging on Derek being older. I'm talking about Derek knowing more about everything that I know about. He's like, dude, get your YouTube channel fixed. Did you know this is on Mr. All Access? I go, yes, I set it up. Galvin's got it on his Facebook page. I've got it on my Facebook, my personal. He's got it on another Facebook page. We got it on I actually took it off the Mr. All Access, which is kind of one of those things, but this is
Mr.
what we're doing.
All Access retired, right? We retired Mr. All Access.
I don't know if we're retiring it, but yeah, I mean those days are long gone when I would totally
the low zone now.
Yeah, it's the low zone. Now I'm in the low zone. I'm not all over the place. So yeah, it's fine. But yeah, listen, man, I got a million things to do, and trying to keep up with social media is one of the worst things I do in my life.
Nobody works, Nicole. It's unacceptable that you're late. Nobody works. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, what's going on?
Joe is on his way. Joe is backstage.
He's backstage.
Joe is patiently waiting.
Listen. Yeah. By the way, I listened to his show. He's got like Alan said, you got some great ideas, but you got a dumb one. Did you hear what he's talking about doing right now?
No, I actually had work, so
yeah.
What I miss?
Well, let's just bring him in because he's shaking his head like he wants to champion this, but I don't think it's going to happen, Joe.
You guys, you just don't have the vision. That's what it is.
Tell everybody. Tell everybody. Tell Jason Galvin, he's the only one who didn't basically hear it. Everybody who came from your show heard it.
And Jim Essex.
I remember when you.
I would love for you guys to know. No, I thought about there should be a bonus for sweeping the 2 4-wide races. I've been saying this for many years, but especially since they are now back to back. And when you sweep something, you get a broom, but that's kind of cliche. So why not a 4-headed broom for the 4 wide, 4 lanes, 4-headed broom? Sweep the 4-wide races, get the 4-headed broom. And it is definitely being met with resistance. I recognize that, as many of the great visionaries of the world, Galileo, for instance, he was ostracized, but he turned out to be right. Nikola Tesla, all of these people ostracized, but they did have good ideas. And
wasn't Galileo like hung and killed for his ideas?
Well,
yeah, exactly.
He was.
That's what I'm saying, Joe.
He was. Well, but who was right in the end? As the answer is, we are now chairless. So the audience, Reinhardt did not respond well to the 4-headed broom idea.
I didn't respond well either.
You don't like it. You lack the vision. You lack the vision. You're not a visionary. But many people in the audience did. And we will see how this goes. Maybe someone will take the initiative and create some sort of four-headed broom. And that if they do in the winner's circle, it will be appreciated.
By who? You?
But whoever gets to lay their eyes upon such greatness.
Can you imagine if Jed Coughlin Jr., you handed him a four-headed broom? And
Contraption. Like
he'd be like,
you
what
know,
is
like
this?
he would get it. Jeg would totally get the humor of the four-headed broom.
I don't know, man.
It's funny. Where's your humor, Jason?
Would he be
Logan?
laughing with you or at you is the better question.
I think with. I think the
Yeah.
best kind of humor comes from these places.
All right,
Well, I
but
hope-
I'm
I
gonna
hope
say
so.
this much. I think Joe is onto something with the 4-wide bonus part. I'll give
Right.
him that.
I mean, that's like the most obvious thing in the world.
It's not the most obvious thing in the world, Joe.
No, to have 2 4-wide races that are totally unique from all the rest, and they're back to back, and you win them both, and you receive nothing extra.
That doesn't make it the most obvious thing in the world. Okay. I just think like, you know, 4-headed broom is like you're literally inventing something that doesn't exist.
Why not
Okay.
like a championship belt?
And
Like
has no
wrestling?
purpose. Also, because a 4-wide drag strip didn't exist, it was created from nothing, just through the great vision.
Okay, but we had a 2-wide drag strip before that. We don't have a 2-headed broom. Like,
No, that is a
Well,
good
I
point.
will say, I will
take
say
that.
this: didn't Antron sweep the swing a couple seasons ago, and didn't somebody give him a broom?
There's always a broom when you
we
sweep
give it,
something.
yes,
Yeah.
the swing. Yes, when you sweep the swing, you get a broom.
You want to go
Sweep the
give somebody
swing.
just a regular broom, be my guest. But where's the creative nature in that? That's
don't
all
know.
I'm saying. I'm saying we gotta move this thing forward. Hey, all the ideas aren't winners.
No, they're not.
That's fair.
But some
Thanks
of them
for
are.
thinking of something, Joe. And
Yeah.
by the way, a couple questions later, JP. Yes, I do have a cameo, and yes, you can gift the voice of me.
All right, here we go. Now I can see your chat section. I couldn't see it before. Now I can see what's going on there.
Look at that.
Blake
Wait,
is
hold
on
on.
there.
Jay-
Derek's on there. Ant Dog's on there. I brought some audience.
You
We
did.
appreciate
Thank you,
that
Joe.
very much. Yes, very
Yeah.
much. Hey, listen. The problem, J-Lo, is you got to tell JP what the cameo is for. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's not
you-
really
JP
for like. It's not for Mr. All Access / Geico / Lozone.
It could be, but you gotta tell me that's what you want.
Because otherwise, what are we gonna get?
otherwise you're gonna get this. Please hold. Hold on.
I love how he comes prepared for this stuff.
Hey, they're sitting right here, Jason Galvin. They're right here next to me. In case I'm drinking a nice, cool Budweiser. Which, by the way, I got one back here. I'll have to find it. Hold on.
Jason Galvin, moments ago you were talking about how you're not old, which I believe you are in the transition period. But whatever, regardless. Do you know who
Hey,
that is?
transition period is way different than actually being old. Do I know who he's being? Harry
Yes.
Carey? Dude,
Okay.
I am a baseball play-by-play guy when I'm not at the drag races.
Yeah.
Well,
he
okay.
is.
Well, I think that's tremendous. Just checking. You know, there are a lot of people who wouldn't know that.
If you
No,
watch
he
the show
doesn't.
regularly, Joe, we've talked about it multiple times.
Well, all right.
Yeah.
I am a
This is
viewer.
kind of
Normally, I'm listening to the show. This is cutting into my time. Normally, I would be posting WFO to our podcast feed and doing all of those things.
when we
Thanks for joining us,
appreciate
Joe.
you taking time out of your busy day to join us. Really, it's very sweet of you.
Yeah. By the way, how was your Vegas, Joe? Joe's the one guy that I know that still loves Vegas like nobody else.
I love Vegas like nobody else.
Yeah, but you don't show the type of enthusiasm that Joe Costello.
Probably because I live closer than Joe. I feel like if Joe lived where I lived, then like he would still love Vegas as much as I do, but he wouldn't be like 5-year-old giddy, you know.
All right. So
That
I've been in
makes
Vegas
sense.
many times and I love Vegas greatly. This is an interesting debate. I have Orlando very close. I enjoy Orlando and I still like it, but I don't get giddy about Orlando.
Orlando
Maybe
is
it's
not
just
Vegas, though.
proximity. But right, it's not Vegas. There's good restaurants. There's things to do. There's fun things. They part you from your money just the same. But you know, Orlando, I'll go. It's fun. It's good. I enjoy it when I go. But Vegas, it's just
Orlando
so
is
different.
wholesome, Joe. It's wholesome.
Is it though?
Yeah, you got every chain restaurant you could possibly imagine.
Yes.
There's no creativity food wise. They used to call it the entertainment capital of the world, but now Vegas is taking that over. I mean, the great part about Vegas is you can do anything you want 24 hours a day.
And I appreciate that you like. I don't want to bottle my enthusiasm. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to put a cap on it. I get there, I land, I get off the plane. It's like a jolt of energy. They make jokes about oxygen in the casinos and everything for years back. I used to go to Las Vegas once a year, every year since the mid 90s. Me and my friends, we would go on a trip and we go to Vegas long before NHRA was going there. And even you may recall, Jason, like early on in my announcing, they didn't send me west.
Right.
I was like regional, East Coast, right? Like we had the regional announcer formula, and I was able to hang around long enough to transcend that. When I got to go to Vegas, I always thought I would not like the NHRA Vegas experience because it would take away from the Vegas experience. Getting up, going to the casino, going to get a great breakfast, hanging out in the casino, going to the pool, wandering around, getting into trouble, all of those great, wonderful Vegas things. And instead, I realized that the NHRA experience totally highlights all of those great benefits of Vegas, like the things that I like to do, like get into the seediness and go find like a back alley knife fight and all of those things.
Joe does like that.
Yeah. Well, here's my deal, Joe. I am such a freaking mess. I will.
Period.
Yeah, period. But in Vegas, it's amplified. And if I got so excited like you do, I would not sleep. I mean, not that I made any money in Vegas this past weekend. I think Galvin and I basically said, hey, it's a paid vacation. Let's just lose our minds via the meals that we had, the money we lost gambling, things of that nature.
Things of that nature.
Yeah.
I didn't lose that much gambling.
I didn't either, but dinners, woo, boy, did we turn it up this weekend.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, look, I brought photographic evidence to the
I
party.
knew it. I knew it. I told the WFO universe we would be talking about food.
Listen,
I've delivered.
This was a Joe Costello
sure shot.
Audible to Peter Luger's Inside Caesars. I'm going to give Joe Costello credit that I don't often give. Okay.
Proud of him.
Joe Costello came through in a big way.
Thank you.
Yeah. If you've never eaten at Peter Luger's, please make it find a reservation if you can, because it is an experience. Joe, it was so good.
I'm so glad you guys enjoyed it. I I was stressing. I was stressing.
I didn't bring the picture of the bacon. It was great. Okay. But look at the cocktails, right? That's like a play on a Manhattan in the foreground that I had. Okay. Jason Logan put down $350 worth of martinis, and I'm not exaggerating that in any way, shape, or form. Just on his own. There were four of us. Our boy Eric showed up. He's seen here. Eric Madeira, yes.
What's up, Eric? He was great. We had a great time.
He was, always is. Love Eric. Also love his hospitality. I'm just going to throw this out there, but we ate very well on Saturday. Thanks to Eric as well.
What do you mean?
I didn't say no. I didn't say no.
Saved my life. I was starving to death, and it's like, hey, is lunch coming soon? And it's like, lunch came. It's gone. It's gone. What?
Yeah. But Eric came through. So ETM hosting on Instagram. There's an underscore on ETM_hosting. But yeah, Eric came through in a big way for us. But look at this. Look at the pure, unadulterated joy on Joe Costello's face.
That's what I'm talking about. That's his face as soon as he gets off the plane in Vegas.
It's my favorite picture of Joe ever.
He's like a little kid. Look at him.
Literally, he's like he just found out Santa Claus is real. And he's
Santa Claus is real. Look at that. I mean, that's what's better than that?
Nothing, Joe. Joe, that steak was.
I'm hanging out with my friends, and so we had this. I want to, because people watch the show. And now we're going into this detail. Like I stressed a little bit because we were going to a place that we've talked about. Jason Galvin, you had gotten a reservation at Cleaver for 4. Cleaver is great and amazing, and it's a speakeasy, and they got great cocktails and all of that. Coming off the airplane, I saw the Peter Luger's sign. And it zapped me. I was like, these guys have never been to Peter Luger's.
Is that what it was? I was wondering what inspired you.
That because it all came back to me, because you may recall I went there for their soft opening in October. I was there on Halloween Day. I was one of the first people in to Peter Luger's in Las Vegas. For those who don't know about Peter Luger's, there's many great steakhouses all around the world. You can get a great steak in a lot of great cities. Here in Miami, we've got some great places too. But Peter Luger's is legendary, and there's only 3 of them. There's one in Brooklyn, there's one in Long Island, and I think there's one in Tokyo, and that's it. And for many years, the family, you guys should franchise. You should spread out. And they never did. This is the first one in Las Vegas. They got this place. And so in October, being a fan of Peter Luger's and all of their wares, including the bacon and the schlag and the ribeye for two, etc., I said, we have to go. And we went, and it was incredible. It was amazing. It was as good or better than Brooklyn. So these two, you could probably tell they like to eat. And so
Yeah.
it's going to be perfect for these guys. You had to share this with you guys. You had to have this experience. And that's when I said, like, Galvin, are you cool with this? And you were totally flexible, which is awesome. That's like the sign of, to me, like, we were going to do this, but now we're going to do something different, and it's perfect. Let's do it. And you just followed right into the abyss, and look what happened.
So good.
Look what happened.
And then Galvin and I followed it up on Saturday night or Friday night. Was it Friday or Saturday, Jason? We went to Giada's.
It would have been Friday because it would have been Friday because Saturday. Yeah, because Saturday
right.
we went and got a little turned over. Yeah.
Can I call out one of our mutual wonderful friends?
Sure, but first, can we talk about how great the lemon pasta at Giada's is?
So you're making me jealous because I didn't get to go. I stayed at the track late that night. That was my late night at the track.
And I appreciate that. Was great. Very nice of you and Alan Reinhart, Warren, and the team, because my lovely wife joined us on the Vegas trip, and you allowed me to gracefully exit early on Friday to go meet her, to go pick her up because she had flown in late in the evening, and to go to dinner. So I appreciated that very much, and I owe you one.
You're very well, absolutely. You're very welcome. Like why, it was someone had to stay to do the competition eliminator winner view at the top end.
It was me. Look at that.
And it was like, why, go, I'll do it. And we did it, and it was great. And we moved on. I got to speak to Ryan Pretty, which was awesome. And we got to be a part of that big moment. And then I was going to meet you guys. You guys come on. And I just was out of gas. The East Coast to West Coast deal, Peter Luger's the night before.
Yeah.
I needed that night so that I could fully enjoy Saturday night, which we did. But Jim Essex.
Which we did. Yes, Jim Essex. Go ahead.
It's relax. It's just a piece of meat.
Whoa, dude. You might, Jim, slow down.
What is Jim Essex all worked up over?
He
Relax. It's just a piece of meat.
Oh,
a steak, a wonderful steak. Does anybody agree with Jim Essex, who I love?
No.
I think he's a great fan. But does anyone else feel that way?
You got to eat it to experience.
Jim
you got to
Essex
experience it.
Jim Essex is off base here.
You're out of your element, Donnie.
Yeah.
And by the
that
way,
doesn't fly for me.
there's nothing better than a martini at a steakhouse, by the way. And I know I drank like 400 of them, but I paid for the 5 that we had at the bar waiting for our thing. And when I saw that, I was like,
yes, thank you.
$175 for 5 drinks. What? And then I was like, and Galvin said later, he goes, "Oh, you and Joe got 2, and I only got 1. I should have got."
I know I screwed the pooch there. I
You
messed
should've.
that one up. Like I missed out on the second one. Had I known you were buying, I would have been all over it.
But man, there's nothing better than a dirty martini at a steakhouse or a Manhattan or an old fashioned. They're just so good. They're just you can't stop ordering them.
Eric is out there. He's watching out there. And thank you,
Is
Eric.
he?
But he says the dessert. Yeah. Like I'm monitoring your comment section better than you guys are.
Listen,
I'm
because
freaking out because I can't
so
come
let me
on.
tell you what I'm in the process of doing, Joe. I'm trying to get video from our Saturday night to convert because I forgot that StreamYard hasn't quite gotten with the 1970s and doesn't accept .movs. So I'm
You got to put it in. Yeah, you got to put it
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Saturday night was incredible. But the schlag, he wants me to say schlag, right? Guys.
Yes. Listen, I have the greatest video of schlag ever, and I decided not to upload it because it's a little incriminating and embarrassing to these two. There.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, I don't remember it either.
Really?
There,
I'll text it to you guys.
There's the
You can see it in
schlag
the middle.
right in the middle of the table.
You can see it in the middle.
Joe
Yes.
goes, "We got to get the schlag," and I'm like, "What the heck's the schlag?"
It's like it comes with it.
And what
J-Lo
is
was ready to drop another $50 on desserts. And Joe's like, no, the schlag, it's free. Come with it.
And what is the schlag, Jason Logan? Like
It's whipped cream with nuts on it.
Nuts.
That's all it is. Or was it nuts?
I don't remember nuts. There's no nuts. It was
There were walnuts on it. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I don't even remember the nuts. I remember.
All right, so you were worse than I was, Joe. Because man,
Apparently.
This,
Aaron.
I mean,
nuts. What's this guy
I
talking?
listen. They gave and Jason Galvin got like silver coins. I think you can kind of see one right on top of gold coins. They're
Yes,
chocolate.
they're right there. They're all in front of me. They're actually in front. They're stacked in front of me, right above my drink.
Yeah, and they gave us all those, and the next day they're like, "Yeah, if you spend over $200 on dinner per person, they give you a gold coin." I'm like, "There's gold coins?" That's what I don't remember because Jason goes, "Yeah, you just all threw them to me."
Yeah, because I said, "Oh, great, my 5-year-old will love that," and then
we all threw our coins at him.
Yeah, all three of you guys were like, "Here, give them to JJ." And by the way, JJ loved it.
Of course,
he still got 3 left, but yes, the first one he was like, "Oh, thank you, Daddy."
Hey, did he do what I told him yesterday? Go to a baseball game. I caught Jason and JJ going to a baseball game, with which JJ was pitching. I told him, I go, hit me a home run. Then I said, if anybody throws at you, comes in with a high heat, you better charge the mound. I go, I want. Was he 5? Could you imagine a 5-year-old charging the mound? That would be the greatest thing ever.
It's coach's pitch. It's
even
pitch,
better.
And J-Lo's over here trying to get him to charge the mound.
Yeah, because I could see you probably throwing high heat at JJ. Hit the ball, son. I'll put it right down the middle. And then you brush him off the plate a little bit. I'm just saying. That's what I would do. That's
away
tough
from
love.
this.
That's
I was
tough
like,
love.
Joe has tapped out of this one, probably.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm living the Little League Baseball experience on Ignition every week with Giovanni in Miami and his little son, Gray, who is now 13. And it's like a flashback, right? Because it's just a cycle, coach pitch, all this stuff. And you know what you're about to get into, Jason Galvin.
Look, I'm well aware of what I'm about to do.
Just pray he's not good. He just likes doing it for fun. Because the amount of money you're going to play, travel ball, the amount of money I pay for my kid to go play soccer all over this stupid country, just pray he's not good.
Pray he's not good. Dear Lord, please let my child have no talent.
Please let him suck. Yeah, problem with it. He's good.
I know, dude. I saw pictures of JJ playing catcher. Dude, he's in the stance with his hand behind his back. I'm like
5 years old. He looks like a big league catcher.
Yeah, I said to Galvin, I go, "Oh, you're doomed. That kid's gonna be good at this sport."
He's 5. They stuck him at first base last night in the first inning, and he's literally catching the shitty throws from the other kids, right? Like the ones that are all over the place. And my kid's just running over, grabbing them, catching them, going back, tagging the bag, screaming at the kids, running, "You're out. No, you need to go back to the dugout." I'm like, JJ, we don't do that in this age, okay? Like, it's okay that he's out. Yes, great play. The kid gets to stay on the bag. Like, that's how it works when you're 5 years old. But like,
all right, so in this case, son. I want to rule in favor of JJ.
I'm on JJ's side. But like I wasn't going to argue with the coaches on the other team.
No, those other kids are morons. Get them out of there.
Yeah, listen, my kid was in a tournament final, at this big international tournament final here in Orlando. Was playing the Olympic Development National Team. So these are all the best 13-year-olds in the country that aren't playing for MLS teams. Went into the finals, penalty kicks. They ended up losing in penalty kicks, but my kid got up there and buried the other team's parents were going, "Oh, he's going to miss it. He missed it. This is the team on the other team," right? And
heckling from parents.
Yeah. Oh, bro, soccer's the worst. My kid gets up there, buries his. He turns and looks at the sidelines. He goes, "I don't miss. I don't miss." I'm like, I'm like finding a tent or an umbrella to hide under. Like, that's my jackass kid.
So bizarre that your child would be a little brash, Jason.
Oh, this kid's the best.
Listen, dude, I just want you guys to know that since neither of you remember the Schlag video, I'm in the process of bringing that over.
Oh, I have no idea. I love the Schlag video. So Jim Essex says, he goes, "I love a great steak as much as the next guy, but." So let's just stop there. Who knows what he says less? Like,
but there's a but.
No, you obviously don't, Jim. I love you, bud, but you don't get it. You're not, like nobody writes that. Like if you write that, then you don't get it. But no. The look on Joe's face of joy. Yeah,
it is great. It's beautiful. All right, so let's talk. We'll wait.
Yeah, can we go back to that look? Hold on. No, hold on, Taylor. Hold on. We gotta go back to that look. Okay.
Look at him.
Like it's the greatest.
By the way, Joe and I were having fun earlier in the day. Joe and I were having fun earlier in the day, so we were both excited to put food in our bodies. So.
What a tremendous day that was, right? Like that's what I'm talking about. You go to Vegas, you're there for NHRA drag racing. It is amazing. And this is why I really like your guys' show and why I watch each week when you go at 2:30 on Tuesday while I'm posting the show, because you talk about the things that are the fun things in addition to the competition. Of course, you'll get to the competition, but I'm by myself. I'm with Alan Reinhart. I'm talking. I can't tell a bunch of people like, hey, I went and got a great steak like that. Nobody cares in that context.
Listen, there's a place for it all, Joe.
And you guys have created that with Life's a Drag.
Yeah, listen, we don't care. We don't care what the ETs were. I mean, I'm sure Jason Galvin made a statement last.
Okay. Yeah, no, Jason Logan doesn't care what the ETs. That's not looking into that.
Listen, I got an hour before your show, Joe. I was like, God, I probably should think about this past race that we were going to talk about. I'm like, who the heck won? And I totally drew a blank. I'm like, I totally forgot. And then I started remembering. Oh yeah, we did Winner's Circle. And I'm going, who was in the back of that stupid truck? I'm going,
okay.
Oh, Jag Coughlin. And then I was like, was Doug Kalita in that car?
Yes, he was.
Doug Kalita. And then I remember Jason Galvin saying he watched the greatest drag race of all time and Bob Tasca.
Tasca was fired up on WFO last week. I don't know if you guys saw that.
I was say, look, Schlag is uploading, but since you're jumping around here, okay, I'm going to put this up. I'm telling you, this is you got to use your eagle eyes here and zoom in, okay? I love that it's covering my face specifically. That is the greatest drag race of all time. Whoever wants to argue with me can argue with me. It's
arguably. That's why you use the word arguably, because then it definitely is. Arguably. Like you can make the debate.
Unquestionably, arguably the greatest drag race of all time. How about that?
And by the way, I mean, again, I don't pay much attention to you guys, but I was like, whoa. When Reinhardt said triple hole shot win, I go, I ain't never seen that. And
look, we've had triple hole shots, but like triple hole shots where the fourth place car is 22 thousandths of a second behind the first place car at 333 miles per hour
while running low ET of the entire event.
Of the event! Like,
and
yes.
is the reigning champion. It finishes fourth, last. Another word for fourth is last. It's like it had all of those extra elements. The 4 wide, like there's 2 more cars in our sport right now. We have this saying, the big 4 that is happening, which could become the big 5 if J.R. Todd were to win this weekend. Who knows? But 4 lanes, big 4. They all brought it. The low ET of the event finished last. The guy who won it on a triple hole shot
with the worst light of the round, and he was 66.
A great light, generally speaking.
He was 66 with the worst light of the round in a Feel Funny car. Okay,
no,
look, there are super comp racers out there who would like to be 66 in a round. Okay, Matt Hagan's 66 in a funny car, and he finishes dead last on a quadruple hole shot deal. Like it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. And that's not taking. I had people who right away were like, "Whoa, what about Tony Schumacher's the run?" I said,
go right to the run.
I didn't tell you. I never in my life. Ever. Yes, I know. No kidding. 4 wives. Worst. 4 wives is not the worst thing ever invented.
4 wives,
maybe. 4 wives. We could have a debate about.
Track in Utah.
Yeah, I'm not having 4 wives.
Girlfriends. Keep 4 girlfriends. JLo. Listen, the run is the greatest run ever. It's a run. I said the greatest race. Okay, like. 4 cars. It's certainly the greatest 4 wide race ever. I won't even say arguably. I don't care. Throw me the quadruple pro stock hole shot, whatever you want. I don't care. It wasn't the 4 best cars in the world in the finals at 330 miles per hour. So that I think is unquestionable. But I'm just saying.
I'm with you, Jason Galvin.
I'm open to debate on other rate. I'm not saying there aren't great moments, right? Do I think Tom McEwen beating Snake and Indy is a bigger moment? Yes. Is it a better drag race? No. Okay. That's just what I'm saying.
I think one of the best moments I've ever seen at a race was John Force winning his 300th in Seattle and him climbing in the stands. As far as moments 150.
Go, I love how Jason Logan just took the greatest driver in our sports history, who already doesn't need any help, being so much more dominant than anybody else of all time. And
hey, whatever the number was, that dude was climbing in the stands, and then Austin Prock goes and wins his first race ever.
Correct.
So this is a great list show. Back when I was doing AM Talk Radio, like when we wanted to phone it in one day, the list show would come out, right? Like the hottest 80s sitcom star, that kind of stuff.
Justine Bateman.
the Marquee Post, the list of the greatest runs, arguably the greatest runs, the greatest races. Like this one is definitely in that conversation. The run is in the conversation. You know, Snake and Mongoose is in the conversation. You throw them into the conversation, and then you talk about them, and that's what these shows are supposed to be about. And look, now drag racing has one. Yay! We can have this argument, and people will actually think about runs that have happened. I don't know what the other ones were. Like the greatest moment that I've enjoyed was when Clay won his first race out there at Bristol. And because it's Father's Day, like all of the extra. This race this past weekend there was no extra. It was just a badass close drag race among the best of the best of the best, period.
Yeah, I agree.
100%.
Yeah.
All right,
so
here.
That was the fun part. Oh, we got the video uploaded.
Here we go.
Schlag.
I'm I'm afraid.
If you are listening to Life's a Drag, available on Apple and Spotify, like and subscribe and all that other stuff, review us. Come to YouTube and watch this.
It sounded more than what it is.
It's not ice cream. It's just a thick whipped cream.
That's your Tuesday episode. It's just slog. Wait, what is this called?
Right.
Slog.
It's slog.
Slog. It looks like whipped cream.
It is whipped cream.
It is whipped cream. Why is it called slog?
With walnuts in it.
I don't know, because it's German.
It's lazy.
It's wrong.
On so many levels, it's wrong.
You too can have this experience.
Yes.
Listen, I watched that again last night at like midnight, trying to find stuff for Day, and I about fell out of bed. I was laughing so hard at the end. I was just so wrong on so many levels.
I'm good for a couple of those. I'm
November,
good for
baby.
a couple of good times out there, y'all.
Are we going back?
By the way,
November? That's the question. Are we going
Yeah,
back
absolutely,
to November?
absolutely, yeah. We should have a WFO Life's a Drag get together there. Like that's
We still haven't gone to Golden Steer yet.
Oh, that's actually a good point too. Well, I haven't. You guys have been there. I've never been. So we talked about. That was where we tried to go Thursday. But by the time I got around to making reservations, which was a month ago, they were taking reservations in July. So I should probably actually start looking at October now. But
Golden Steer is great. It's an experience. You know, Sinatra was
Mary's
there.
Jubilee, Bananas Foster,
Yes.
little flambe. That's
Steak better at Peter Luger's. Steak to steak, head to head. No experience, no Vegas history. It's not. I don't want to say it's not close. The Golden Steer steak is a tremendous steak. It's fantastic, and it's less expensive. But you get the history at the Golden Steer, man.
The Golden Steer's ridiculous.
Yeah,
so good.
it really is.
Right. All right, Joe. Let's talk about our Saturday night because Jason Logan
blew it. Had a great time. Yeah.
Well, I had a good time, and I met up with friends, and I thought we were gonna. This group was like Joe's and Jason were building up. Oh yeah, it's this.
On paper, I agree. You made a good call on paper. We had no idea what was about to happen to us.
Right, because I thought it was going to be, hey, let's go talk more about drag racing. And I'm like, dude, I am done with talking about drag racing today and the rest of this weekend. I'm going to go see some, what did I go see? I saw some
a burlesque show. You saw topless
show, yeah, at the Flamingo, which was great. It was topless, and I saw naked people, and it was awesome. But you guys had a really good time.
Listen, we went here, okay? Now, this is the barbershop, which is actually a barbershop out in front, but behind it is a speakeasy. It's at the Cosmo. Have you ever been to the Cosmo and you've walked by the haircut place and you've ever wondered why there's a line 4 miles long at night? It's not because people are dying to get haircuts at 8 o'clock at night, okay? People are dying to go in and have a really good cocktail and watch live music, of which they have often. And our friends, who I'm repping here on the show, the Legends Nitro series. Boy, even I messed that up that time. And thank you to Michael. Thank you to Michael for the hat.
Well, at least you didn't say Too Fast, Too Furious challenge.
No comment. But thank you.
Every weekend, there's at least one of those.
Anyways, thank you to Michael and Ben and Bill and the guys for hooking me up with the new hat here. Anyway, so Michael and Ben run this Legends Nitro series. We've talked about it. We had Drew Austin on here a couple weeks ago. I think most of the people watching NHL right now are at least familiar with it. Nostalgia Funny Cars, running to 1,000 feet. It's great. And they have become big supporters of the trio of us, I think it's safe to say, and what we do around.
Can I pause you for a second?
Yeah,
just because the story
go.
is, I want to add some flavor. These guys, they Bill Wyndham and all these guys, they've been filling us in. This is what we want to do. This is what we're trying to do. We're working with the NHRA. Caps is behind the scenes. There's a bunch of stuff going on, and that has happened before. And then it doesn't always land, right? These guys are landing it. They're going out there. They're putting on great shows. The cars are awesome. They're fast. They're not oiling down the track. They're not going on their roof. They're doing the show exactly as they need to do it. They're delivering perfectly. And someone like me who doesn't get nostalgia anything in the East Coast in South Florida, it's amazing to see these cars. They are awesome. They have a deep nitro cackle because they could run 100% if they want. That's up to them. Yeah. All of these elements with these Legends Nitro cars are great. And also, every single person that I have encountered with this group has been super positive, like trying to be like helpful. How can we help? How can we be better? What can we do? What's your opinion? What do you think? Like, we're so happy to be here. We're so pleased. No attitude. Not that we get that from a lot of people anyway, but just super pleasant and positive. And on the starting line in Arizona, this gentleman comes up and he's talking to me and we're talking about the thing and I'm having this great conversation, right? And it was Ben who knew, right? Which will come up later. And so I'm having this conversation like Jason Logan doesn't like to have about drag racing and drag racers. And it was great stuff. Take it back, Galvin.
So Michael and Ben have been telling me, well, first off, we've been trying to get together at a race for a long time. And it just doesn't work out because, our schedules are wonky and they're a Nitro series, right? So like, fair enough. They run right after the pros usually, and then they're done. They load their cars up and they all go out to the bar or go eat and whatever. And usually we're running Sportsman or whatever, right? It just hasn't worked out. And we tried to get together in Phoenix to watch March Madness. And then Phoenix, as we've talked about, was kind of a disaster. And we were there late every night and all that stuff. And, they hit me up in Phoenix and they're like, listen, Ben hits me up in Phoenix. He goes, listen, Australian, I'm not going to try to do the accent because I suck at it and his is amazing. He's like, I need you to come to our show in Vegas. Now, I know Ben is a guitarist. And not just like a guitarist, like I have a guitar here and I can strum the thing, right? Like he was in some like major bands, right? Like if you're 90s fans, music people, right? Like Ben was like the lead guitarist for Savage Garden and for Lighthouse. And he played with Tal Bachman. And like he's
didn't know any of this stuff.
Listen, he toured with Backstreet Boys, okay? Like he's
professional musician. Think of the word professional and then just add musician.
Correct.
And that's what he is. He's a
gets
professional
paid to
musician.
write and play songs that you have sung along to in the radio multiple times in your life. So I knew that. I think these two kind of know, but like maybe not as much, right? And
any of it.
J-Lo didn't know any, but he doesn't pay attention to that stuff. So it's right. So anyway, so
I knew none of it also. And I hadn't, when you said Savage Garden, I know about professional musicians. And so I said to myself, this is probably something I should go to.
So they invite us and, we show up at the Speakeasy and I call Mike and Mike's like, we met at the Chandelier Bar at first. My wife's with me. Joe shows up. And we go to walk in and like, there's already at this point a line pretty significant and they're like 45 minutes from playing music. Like Ben's not even there. The band's not even there yet. Right.
I got an ad for the line story when you kick it back here because that's,
and I mean, literally like we walk into the front door and it's like, we own the place type of deal. Like they just open the door and let out whoever we want walk in. We have a booth right at the front. Like we're there for a while. Like Mike Rice shows up, runs our races. Like Mark, cool. Like, we've got all these NHRA people who normally, as Joe and Jason alluded to, we would just be talking about drag racing. We didn't talk about race cars once the entire time, right?
No.
My cousin and her friend showed up, and next thing you know, we got like 30 people in this pretty sizable area that I would imagine cost many, many thousands of dollars, and we literally got treated like royalty. It was an unbelievable night, and then the band And then the band came on. Like, it was an unbelievable night before the band came on. And then the band came on. And I don't know about you, Joe, but I didn't necessarily have expectations. I just thought all four of these guys have played professional music. Like, it's a band. They play together in Vegas. They play here often. Like, it's kind of
They
their
have
spot.
a residency at this place.
Correct.
They are the
Yes,
Las
it's their
Vegas
spot. They're the house
entertainment
band
for this-
there. Right.
Yes.
But, like, you know, like, oh, they're probably pretty good. Was not ready for what happened. You?
So I have a great friend, Giovanni, in Miami, who is, he was like, I can't believe you didn't go see the Scorpions. And I'm like, let me tell you something, man. I think I saw a better show. Like, I don't know what was going on over there with Scorpions, and I think it's great. And I would have gone to see them in an alternate universe. But the experience I had on Saturday night at the Cosmo and Barbershop, watching Ben and his band play, was one of the best live music experiences that I've had. Yeah, they did some covers, but they nailed every single one like perfectly. They were tremendous. They were coming in the crowd. I will acknowledge the VIP nature of our experience does add on. Guess what? That's part of it. And it was awesome. So no, I would
me
not
put it to you
go
like
see
this.
Scorpions over that. No way. It was
Gal-
way better.
Galvin came rolling back to the room at 1:30, and he could not stop talking about it. He's like, oh, you screwed this one up. Oh, I had like 37 drinks, and he was feeling it. I was like, damn. I was like, and I immediately started getting jealous. I'm going, this guy, he just had a freaking great time. I go,
Yeah.
oh, I screwed this up big time. He goes, don't worry. They said we could come back in the fall. And I'm like going,
I mean, so literally, like first off, I think multiple of us probably woke up Sunday morning still buzzed. But literally, we get to the racetrack Sunday, like, all right, not feeling good, shake it off, shower, coffee, ate something, got in the track, go. Okay, I've recovered, right? Pre-race, we do our thing, we rock into it. I thought we nailed pre-race. Best pre-race I've had all year.
Pre-race
Right,
was
nailed
tremendous.
pre-race.
It was an
And
excellent-
Michael and Ben walked up to me in the middle of pre-race. Like, Joe's up there doing, because it's 4 wide, so his interviews take longer for marquee matchups. And Joe's doing that. And Ben walked up to me. He goes, I have no idea how you're upright right now. And I'm like, dude. Michael's like, I can't believe that you're like out here like yelling and screaming and talking. I'm like, that's just what we do. This is what we do.
Yeah,
and then,
you guys
and then-
gotta sing,
and then
we
right
gotta
away-
sing.
and then right away, Ben was like, well, we're doing it again in October. Like, we're going to do it in October. And whoever is important to you, it's important to you that they come. Like, I got to have it there. I mean, these guys like legitimately like appreciated us and like us taking the time out of our weekend to come. So we already know what we're doing in October.
Well, we work very
It's gonna be
hard,
great.
guys. It's like we work very hard out
We do.
there, and it's a very challenging situation.
Anyways,
It's very
here, enjoy
difficult.
this 1 minute clip of, I have 20 minutes of this. Okay. But like, here's a 1 minute clip of Ben at work.
I say, don't you know? You say you don't know, and I say, take me out of my way. This can I, my way. This can I want you. Take me out of my room. This can I.
Like,
yeah.
They
God,
crushed
I
it.
missed that one.
Yeah,
they crushed
it.
it.
mashups.
Dude, I
They
can't.
crushed
Galvin sent me videos, and I'm going, oh.
You had a good time too. It's Vegas. Everybody was
I
having
know,
fun.
but
Everyone was having a
still.
good time. So Galvin is like there with the missus, and I am out. I had some time to go do my own thing, right? And so I drove to the Arts District to scout out this new tiki bar. You guys know that the Golden Tiki is like the hot tiki bar and everything, but there's a new one called the Stray Pirate in the Arts District. So I wanted to go check it out before we go there with the group, because what if it sucks? Right? There's always a possibility it's in the middle of nowhere. So I go down there, I'm doing that. I go down a back alley, I take some photographs, etc. and so on. Then I go to the Cosmo. So I'm texting Galvin. He's like, you text me and I'll send someone out to get you. So I kind of come rolling up to the barbershop and I see the line of 5,000 people. There they are. It's like down and it's over and it's around and there's this like serpentine. It's like going on the Star Wars ride at Epcot Center. It is crazy long line. So I'm like, well, I'm not going over there. I'm going to stay over here and see what's up. So send him out. So out comes Michael. I go walking up and we just go walking right in. That alone is a great experience, guys. And if you've never had it, I highly recommend it. It's great because everybody wants to know, who the hell are you? Right? Like, why do you get to skip all this line? We've been waiting in the line for an hour and you're just walking right in. It's like, hey, there he is.
Yeah,
I'm going in.
VIP is the way to. I mean, that's the only way to do Vegas. Is it? Because people spend thousands and thousands of dollars just to sit down. Then you got to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on bottle service.
So I go
Yeah.
walking in. I mean, it's a speakeasy. You got to look through the door and they want to see. It's a whole speakeasy vibe. You go through the
Yep.
barber shop and go and we get to the table. And, Michael's like, what are you drinking? I was like, I'll just have, whatever. Old fashioned, right? There was like 30 of them on the table. And now I'm drinking and Galvin is there and we're having a good time. And it was just a positive and wonderful experience. And I think, honestly, helped us perform at a high level the next day, bringing that
Yes.
energy, bringing that entertainment, professional Vegas energy to our show that happened to be during the daytime at the Strip at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We need to do
I
that
will
more
say-
often, guys.
I will say, I don't necessarily feel like, actually we just had this conversation yesterday, right? I don't necessarily feel like I need to be like patted on the back to think like, hey, we're doing a good job, whatever. Like, but to Joe's point, it is nice to have other people recognize the effort and the work that you put in and to reap some of the rewards of it. And like, let's be honest, one of the cool things about what we get collectively to do for a living and this awesome
Temporarily.
gigs that we have, right?
Temporarily. Like this is fleeting. Could be
Yeah.
over tomorrow. Like Galvin,
Correct.
Joe, you guys are fired.
Yeah, bye,
Johnny and
peace.
Jimbo, get in there and do your
Correct,
best.
right. But like one of the cool things about it is that we get to meet some really badass people, and sometimes those people want to share their worlds with us, and it opens up opportunities that other people don't get. And like that was one of them. It was
Yes.
very, very cool.
And that's what
Must-
I like about the sport. That's what I mean by I don't want to go talk drag racing because all right, we know what that's all about. I want to know backstories. I want to know stuff like that where you played on the Soundgarden Truly Madly Deeply. How was that experience? That's the stuff I want to know. How was it going on tour with the Backstreet Boys when they were doing their thing? Did you know I opened for AJ McLean? What? Look at me go. Now we've got a whole thing here.
Right. They're entertainers. You're
Right.
entertainers. It's like you're kind of the same. The
Right.
Backstreet Boys.
Except I
Jason
just
and
don't
Jason.
drive the nostalgia funny car. That's cool. I
Well, only a
appreciate it.
few people get to drive those nostalgia funny cars.
That-
Like that's a very rare occurrence as it is.
And that's the cool stuff for me. That's why I come out there because all these people have amazing stories of, what's his name that you had on your show, Sean Reed.
How about that guy?
Yeah, that was great. I mean,
Yeah,
just-
I saw a guy with a plane, and I decided I'm going to go get my pilot's license, and
Right.
now I can fly. Right.
yeah, I
Oh,
started my
wow.
company with $100, and now look at what I got. Now I own a fuel team, and now look at what's going on. That's cool to me.
The best
That's-
thing about drag racing is the people. We say it over and over again, and back to shows like this and my own and all of them, right? Like it's highlighting the personalities that you really can't figure out in 30 seconds.
Right.
You just can't figure them out in 30 seconds. They got to mention the sponsors. Like Randy Lynn today, we had Randy Lynn. She was just great. She's going to run Mountain Motor. I'm, of course, like trying to pave the path to traditional pro stock. I would love to see Randy Lynn in traditional pro stock somehow. Like it would just be the best. The people make the sport. Cars
Yes.
are cool too, though.
I agree, and that's why that's what we try to do on this show, Joe. Is not talk about all that other junk.
I don't know. I've watched lots of times and you get caught up in the other junk.
Well, we do, but I like talking about just like the Boar's Head sign at Randy Lynn's shop.
Well,
Like,
I didn't know that. I
didn't
learned
know-
that today.
I didn't know that that Bo's real name is Jim, and he changed it because he wanted to be Bo Duke.
I mean,
I knew his name was James.
James.
Yeah.
I know he went by Bo, but the origin story of him not liking little Jimmy
Right.
and deciding, like seeing Bo Duke and identifying with that, like that's cool. That's what I want to be, Bo Duke. And now I would have picked a different Bo Darville, which is the Bo that I would want to be, not Bo Duke, Bo Darvel, which is AKA the Bandit.
Right.
But we can quibble about these are minor things. These are minor things.
Yeah.
But I
I mean, I would have been.
And
I would have been Bo Jackson. He made the most money, so I would have been Bo Jackson.
Listen, my wife thinks I
And Burt
watched
Reynolds? I don't know.
in the 70s. Burt Reynolds, come on, dude, the coolest guy on the planet.
Highest level star that there was. A-list. Top
My
tier.
wife hates the fact
I
that
wasn't
I
born
love.
back then, so
Yeah, that I
Have
love
you
Smokey the
seen
Bandit.
Smokey and the Bandit?
I've seen Smoking the Bandit.
Have
But
you
have you
really
seen
though?
it? Yeah.
Have I seen Smoking the Bandit in the last
30 years.
30 years? Yes. 20 years? No.
Come on, dude. Every time it's on, I will watch it.
American artwork. It really
When
is.
Jackie Gleason kicks that guy in the butt, ooh, that's an attention getter, son. Now keep
Yeah.
your hands up on that car wash.
Listen. It took you guys 5 years to get me to watch Godfather. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to rewatch something I've already seen.
Joe, see, that's another problem. Joe, I have this conversation with Hannah all the time. She goes, I don't watch movies. I'm like, how do you not
Oh, I
watch
love movies. Oh, no. I love movies. And I will watch the same movie 400 times if it's Top Gun.
Well, Top Gun is great. I
Yeah,
mean,
but
there's nothing wrong
Days
with
of
Top
Thunder.
Gun.
I will watch Days of Thunder.
Days
over
of
and
Thunder
over.
is fantastic. It's
Yeah,
Yes.
but the Smokey
Yeah.
and the Bandits, Cannonball
Backdraft.
Run.
Backdraft. Did either of you
No.
see Backdraft?
Yes,
See, I
but
love
no.
of course.
Scott-
Who hasn't seen
Scott
that?
Glenn
Yeah.
starting all the fires. Come on, Scotty.
Yeah, see, it
That's
made me want to be
so
terrified
heavy.
when I was.
That's heavy
Ma-
material. Like guys getting burned in
Yeah.
fires and
And it's
dying.
the
in
worst
I was-
fires.
Baldwin brother.
I was
It's the
7
worst
years old. I
Baldwin.
thought it was great. That is the worst ball. That's Steven, right? Is that him?
No, isn't Steven the Christian guy that
Steven is definitely the worst of the Baldwins. I can confirm
Hold
that.
on,
the
now-
rest
now
of it,
I-
I
now
don't
I-
really know anything.
Now I got to look that up. Which one
But
is it?
Sally Field in the
No, it's William.
1977 William Baldwin, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
William.
1977 Sally Field.
Billy
Come
Baldwin.
on.
Smoking the Bandit, 77 Trans Am. What's your pleasure?
Look, Derek is right. I will watch Smoking the Bandit again when my son is 10 and I make him watch it. So, I got 5 years. It'll be
Right.
great.
There's nothing bad at 10. You could let him watch it now at 5. There's nothing bad in that movie.
Technically, they're
mean, first off,
bootlegging, which is illegal.
Well, sure, but who's going to understand that at 5?
Regardless, Bo
You bet we
Butner, Bo Duke, good tie-in.
Stephen Baldwin is Bieber's
That's
father-in-law.
so right. See, the Cole's, God, we got to get her on the
Bieber-
show.
Bieber's married? How about that one? Look at that.
Yeah, he's married.
I know he's married. There was a rumor about it almost falling apart recently.
So we call Justin Bieber Beeb nuts because when you got the hand.
Who's
at
we?
my people, entertainment people.
The Orlando.
Okay.
We
So
call-
Joey Fatone calls Bieber's beep nuts. Anyway,
we call him Beeb nuts because when you're at a poker table and you got the best hand there, you got the nuts. And for the longest time, Bieber's had the best hand going, and we just call him Beeb nuts. Right to his face. What's up?
I'm glad I'm surprised it took 53 minutes to get to the Joey Fatone reference.
I almost dropped it, but I didn't.
Listen,
Calvin
I'm
hates
glad
it.
that it took 51 minutes to get to the part where we finally found a dumber thing than 4 heads on a broom, which was,
You're not a visionary.
Hey, by the way,
Yeah,
you guys
yeah.
know we're going there, right? We're going to that place this weekend.
I've heard a rumor.
I'm
Should we
super
talk
excited.
about that
Rumor.
for 5
Yeah, let's-
seconds?
Way to go,
Yeah.
Jason Logan. Nice
Does
transition.
anybody know if the missile is launched yet, or is it inbound still?
What missile are you talking about?
Oh, J-Lo, come on. That's an inside joke. You're supposed to laugh at it. I'll remind you later.
No, I don't know that one. But this weekend, Jason and Joe, we get motorcycles back in Mountain Motor Pro Stock, and we get all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah, the whole world's going to be there. This is very interesting. What do you guys know about this controversy with Pro Stock Motorcycle?
I see it.
I
but
have been following along. Listen, I will tell you this much.
Can you summarize it in like a minute for me? Because I know there's a lot of content that I'm supposed to watch, and I've watched some of it, but I'm not going to watch all of it. Sorry, the 30-minute Steve Johnson State of the Universe and all of that.
Listen,
Like, can you
Jason
sum it up?
Logan.
Summarize.
Jason Logan, before I sum it up for you, I will surmise with this. Jason Logan suggested we get Steve Johnson as a guest today. And I told Jason Logan that I had a flight to catch Thursday morning. So I thought that was a bad idea.
I love Steve
Yeah.
Johnson. He is,
I
I
love Steve
consider him,
too.
he's a wonderful person. But if someone can summarize the whole thing for me in 1 minute,
Yes.
I will appreciate them.
Vance and Hines has very fast motorcycles. Matt Smith is not very happy about their very fast motorcycles. Steve Johnson thinks that everybody needs to stop crying.
Great summary. That was
Yeah.
exactly
Like,
what that was. That's exactly what that was.
I mean, essentially, like, it's funny because Steve Johnson's put these videos out and he keeps getting misconstrued. Like at first people were like, Steve hates Vance and Hines too, because he runs the Monster Head, and then he put a video out, and then people are like, wait, Steve hates Matt Smith, and then he put another video out, and it's like, no, maybe Steve just doesn't hate anybody. Maybe,
Right. Well, by putting
maybe
the video
Steve-
out, though, you put yourself into the middle
Maybe,
of it.
maybe Steve's just trying to explain to people how the different motorcycle engines work and why there's a controversy and an issue to begin with, because this is what happens when you have multiple motor builders. Okay, like honestly, here's what I think the funny. Can I tell you what I think the funny thing is about the pro stock motorcycle world is
Yes.
that the pro stock motorcycle teams have, like, outside Vance and Hines has been pretty good about staying quiet in this whole deal, right? But like everybody else is willing to be publicly opinionated. I love that, because for the love of God, we can't get pro stock to do that at all. And
No.
like there is an equally pretty large controversy amongst the pro stock pits right now that has to do with manifolds, but ain't nobody want to talk about it publicly. I'm here for the controversy. Bring it
Yeah,
up
well,
publicly.
And
Like
what's
Jerry. Okay, like Bob Tasca's on Joe's show, like, calling out Austin Prock without naming Austin Prock, but like we all know that he was calling out Austin Prock, and it's like, great, like that's awesome. Go.
Wasn't that
go,
great?
go.
Tasca
It
just
was
freaking
phenomenal.
lit into him, and everyone is
It was
like, "Oh, I don't
phenomenal.
know what's going on." Like that's gonna
was-
pay dividends later on this year. And
was
I also think Bob
phenomenal.
is right. I think Bob is right. Like, do whatever you want to do. Do your
Sure,
thing.
yes.
As long as it's
I
legal,
agree.
that's the whole thing. As long as it's legal, I don't
Right.
care. I mean, I watched John Force chunk that
Let
thing
it be a
in there.
gray area. I don't care. Let it be a gray area.
Yeah.
It'd be fun.
But Austin can say what he wants too. Like if Austin
Right,
wants to
oh.
call it out, be like, the only reason you're
Listen.
doing that is because you're old and you can't react anymore. Like,
me tell you.
say it. No, we
Austin
all love
Prock
each other. We're a
gives-
wonderful little sport together. We won't let anybody fight each other. We're just gonna freaking, manage.
I'm not going to
everything.
speak for Austin specifically, but I can tell you that I feel pretty confident that Austin Prock gives zero bleepity bleeps what Bob Tasca thinks of Austin Prock. And for the record, vice versa.
Vice
Like,
versa. Vice
Bob
versa.
Tasca's life is plenty good, whether Austin Prock likes him or not. So I'm here for a little bit of rivalry. I think it's
Yeah.
fun that Pro Stock Motorcycle is a bit of a mess right now. That's why I said I wish that Pro Stock, like, honestly, there's like legitimately a very big pit area. I think at least two of us on this show are well aware of it. Jason Logan probably mentally checks out of that part.
I've seen it. I've
Very,
seen it.
very big behind the scenes fight essentially over manifolds and motor setup and stuff between there's only two engine suppliers, so it's not like I'm like not breaking news here. Everybody can do the math and figure it out between two pro stock camps. And like, for the love of hell, they will sit there and talk all the crap in the world about each other behind the scenes and argue about it behind closed doors. And then we got in the public and it's like kumbaya. And I don't like kumbaya.
Well, so
It's more
Erica, when
fun.
she said there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, and she's a little annoyed at Las Vegas, like she wanted to. It's real.
Yeah.
It's happening. It's real, but I don't know what's wrong. Why people can't just say it in all
Right.
of these other little universes, these sports people, that you just say it. It's gonna be okay.
And
There's no.
And it's not friendly.
No.
Like people thought he was being like dramatic. Like she's not even like necessarily really in the middle of it. Like Erica's not a
No,
tuner or
it's got
making
nothing
motors
to
and
do
stuff.
with it. It's
But
not.
she just
her-
drives one of the 8
Yeah.
race cars in that camp. Okay, but like literally, it is contentious
Do
between
you think
the people who matter in those camps.
I don't know. Maybe we're overstating that a little bit. But so tomorrow, Lonnie Grimm is coming on WFO, guys. Lonnie, and
perfect.
We're gonna do Ask the Tech Director, and I'm going to, I'm not going to keep him for hours and hours, but this is definitely one of the hot topics. Like, what is the origin of this? Like,
Yeah.
why is it that how is it that we got to this point? What's going on? Please, technical director, and explain, because KB Titan's not really talking and Elite's definitely not talking, and nobody's talking about what's going on in the intake manifold. I'm about to do a show with Michael Heiner as soon as I'm off with you guys about their perspective. But in the end, this weekend, all the covers are off the intake manifolds. And so we are going to be able to see something that we don't normally get to see. That having been said, I don't know if it's going to mean anything, because what we're seeing isn't exactly what's going on the inside.
Right. But also, like I will just say this to plug your show tomorrow. I don't know how many like Lonnie Grimm is probably a foreign name to most of our casual fans out there. I think Lonnie Grimm is one of the better things that's happened in the NHRA Tech Department in a long time. He's really, really smart. He has a super diverse background. And my favorite thing about Lonnie is, and I think this is the Southerner in him, but he has this unbelievable way to tell you to shut the bleep up, but like hug you in the process.
Right.
It's phenomenal. But like also, he's got this incredible ability to explain things and make them make sense. So like if you have ever been very, very interested in like some of the controversial behind the scenes things, like Joe's show tomorrow is like a don't miss, because Lonnie will not run from a question. That's not his style. He wouldn't come on the show to begin with if he was planning on running from a question.
Right.
And I know Joe well enough, I think, here that Joe wouldn't have Lonnie on if Lonnie was like, listen, I come on your show, but I'm not going to talk about this, and this. Then that's
Put
point.
it this way, I have not provided him the questions, and I haven't been
There you
asked.
go.
Like,
Lonnie's the one guy that I've sat and listened when people start talking drag racing. I will listen to that guy because he breaks it down for a dummy like me, and I'm like, okay, and I've learned stuff. But going back to this whole everybody wants to talk and do stuff, I think the competition in all these classes have gotten so fierce, and everybody's up their game, and all the parts and pieces are. Everybody's getting really, really good. I think this is going to be the next level where, you know, if your car didn't run so great and you didn't have the top, you know, the big four out there doing their thing, people would just wouldn't run their mouth. But there's so many teams that have gotten so much better. And every race, you can have a different race winner. I think people are going to start talking about the little things. And I think, you know, Bob Tasca opening his mouth like that was great. And I think it's going to be even more awesome when people do start. I mean, listen, when Erica and Greg Anderson, I see them at events hugging each other now, and you know, and they've all become friendly. I'm like going, what's going on in pro stock? You know, everybody's getting kinder and gentler, but then this thing flares up, and everybody's like, whoa, hold on a second.
Well, this is a very serious deal. So, you know, I like when Erica and Greg are friendly together because we're all in this thing together, and our success is not mutually exclusive. But at the same time, they're fighting for the same thing, and only one or the other can get it. And in this particular storyline, a lot of money was spent on something that was then made illegal. And it's like, well, you know, why didn't you tell us 3 months ago before we did any of this? And it's like, well, you know, those things are all on the table. So I understand people being aggravated, but it's not personal. And one of your guys down there says, you know, NPK, blah, blah, blah. It's, you know, wrestling, the showmanship and the talk, that's like the show there. The show is, that stuff is number one over there. Here you have professional drag racers competing for sponsors, and there's just an air of professionalism. I'm not diminishing that in any way. It's just very different, and we could use a little bit of that. It doesn't have to be mean-spirited. I like when Erica and Greg are hanging out at the Champions Dinner at the Stampede Speed last year, and we're getting to see them the way you've never seen them before. Right. That's good. But at the same time, there should be some competitive edge, and there should be friction amongst two competitors that are going after the same thing. If the three of us were competing for something, there would be some trash talk, and we are friends, but there would be some trash talk. It just for the fun of it.
Well, that's all I'm saying. I think I think Top Fuel, Funny Card and Top Fuel, it's unbelievable. Just there's 8 to 10 people that can win every weekend, I feel. And that's where people are going to be like you said, triple hole shot win. And, you know, the fastest car came in 4th. It's like, okay, Matt Hagan's got to be saying to himself, that can't happen again, you know, and let show some fire, man. Let's go. And I know some of these guys aren't like that, but, you know, and the fact that Bob Tasca said it in his Rhode Island accent, it's even better.
Well, well, he did. No. And so Tasca's on a mission, okay, to win a championship for Ford. Like that's like, what is the context of it? And I think we have seen and are seeing a slow transition from the sport of drag racing and Jason Galvin, you're excellent to add on this because of your Uncle Pat, in that once upon a time, just being there, being out there, being a part of it, being in the thing, that was a major accomplishment, and it still is, right? But now, like, you gotta win, man. You gotta win. It's right. You gotta win. It's a competition, and you gotta win it. And that should cause friction. Now, they'll tell you there was more friction back in the day. Think of all the different stuff that was going on because of match race.
Different reasons, right?
Because of match race. They had to get their money. Now everybody's got some money. But I feel like Brian and Tony, they are calling people out on the show left and right for not doing a good job. Whoa, why are they saying negative things about me? Well, what was your light? It was 110, but I'm out here and I'm trying real hard to be a part of the sport, and I'm bringing in, yes, that is true. But
are you competing?
Nico Rosberg called out Lewis Hamilton in the Formula One race like 57 times this past week. Like, that was bad, and Lewis's head is not in the game because, Charles Barkley says it best. How am I supposed to say something good about you when you're not doing something good on the court?
Say it like he does, though.
I'm not going to do much.
Oh, man, that's terrible, man. That's terrible.
Oh, you got another.
This is a second cameo coming.
How can you say anything off here on test? Terrible. By the way, let's change everything up. Have you guys watched 100 Days to Indy yet?
No. Galvin was going to send. Never mind. I want to bring that up. Galvin.
Yeah. Anyways, I loved it. Joseph Newgarden.
I got you.
Newgarden is my new
Yeah, I got
driver. I love Joseph Newgarden. The guy's a freaking weapon.
I've loved Joseph Newgarden since he was like 18. But
and I know your name like with the Joseph with an F versus Joseph with a PH.
Yeah, I'm not into that, but
people think like he's some sort of German or something, right? Like he's a Nordic,
Swede,
whatever. Like if his last name was Joseph, like this guy, I think he'd have triple the fans. They see that Joseph and they're like, I can't relate to that guy. He's some foreigner, but he's not. He's American.
It's really good. You guys should watch it. It's just like the Formula One thing, Drive to Survive, but still.
So tell us about what we care about, which is Courtney Force.
You really want me to talk? I thought Courtney Force just looked a little awkward on that show. That's all. She was there.
Why is that?
I don't know. I just thought she was there, and they like to highlight the wives and girlfriends as well. And Graham Ray Hall, they spent a little bit of time with him, and they did that thing. And she said, I mean, it's funny to see. I shouldn't say it like this. It's different to see her not at a racetrack driving cars, and now I see her being mom, supportive wife. That's all. It was just a little awkward. She's with the babies. They're at an aquarium. They're doing their thing. It was just, my first impression.
Nicole says it was horrible! ! They didn't even mention that she was a driver too. Bull.
Right. Yeah, Nicole, I agree with that because they should have said, champion driver. This is, what is it?
Well, she didn't win championship, but I have a theory. Can I tell you my theory on that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. In my opinion, we spent too much time talking about NASCAR as a sport. Okay. In my opinion, our direct rival for sponsors, TV contracts, et cetera, is IndyCar.
Yep.
Because when you look at attendance and TV ratings, and you take the Indianapolis 500 out because that doesn't count.
Right.
Okay. And yes, it exists. It is, in fairness, literally my favorite race in the world. And for proof, I can literally show you, most of my room actually has IndyCar stuff in it, right? I love the Indy 500. I love IndyCar. But the fact of the matter is that, we are actually kind of ahead of them outside of the Indy 500 world and a couple other races. They have this pod right here early in the year where things are good. But when we get to them running in August in Texas, there's nobody in the stands and their TV ratings tank when they're not on NBC. And I think that there's probably a concerted effort, since it's a produced IndyCar show, not to talk about it because there's our rivals and we're all competing for open TV contracts right now. We both have open TV contracts. And even if they don't think we're ahead of them or whatever, I just I would be equally surprised if we had a show about our teams and we were bringing up IndyCar people. Let's just put it that way.
I agree. Yes,
Yeah.
I understand. That's a long way to get
NASCAR's
to
another
that.
world. NASCAR's way out there, and like, great, NASCAR people are here, and you talk about them, and like, because NASCAR's out there, and we're not really competing with them. But like, I think that even though
Maybe
the
it'll
racing
come up
is
in
not
the-
alike at all, and honestly, I'm actually a big believer that the entire like competing for others, whatever thing, is kind of BS anyways to begin with, and dumb. Like, I really don't think that like one day we're gonna convince IndyCar fans to come be drag racing fans, or drag racing fans are going to leave to go be like, you either like that type of racing or you don't,
Or you like it all, right? Like that.
or you,
that's-
yeah,
that's
or you
what
like it
it
all,
means.
like
I
all
like
of
it.
us.
That's me. I like it all. I spent a lot of time in IndyCar over there. I know a lot of people who work over there and make their living over there in IndyCar.
Right.
And
I love IndyCar.
right. It's when I was at XM, we had the contract and spent a lot of time. I got to do a lot of stuff with Andretti, and it was great stuff. But
I just thought, like Nicole said, it was about Graham. It was about the IndyCar part of it, but she just, I didn't like.
They could have at least said, and Courtney is a race-winning drag racer,
Right. Yeah.
like,
She
without
comes from a racing
naming.
family. Yeah. He married into a racing family, and two racing families from two different disciplines came together. Blah, blah,
but
blah,
really, you mentioned the rivalry though between IndyCar and NHRA, and I just something triggered me. I just want to say, freaking Roberto Guerrero. Like we had our chance. We had our chance to seize control of the IndyCar world. Kenny Bernstein, he's got a car up there on the front row of the Indy 500, and the dude spins it out on the pace lap. Think about how the universe for drag racing is different. Or maybe, who knows? Kenny Bernstein wins the Indy 500 that year with Roberto Guerrero. Maybe he abandons NHRA drag racing and never looks back and goes to IndyCar and becomes Roger Penske. Like, who knows? But we didn't get to find out because he crashed on the pace lap. Meanwhile, in the drag racing universe, Raymond Beadle owned Rusty Wallace's world championship car in 1989, just showing that the drag racing universe, like we, the drag racers, have been the ones to innovate and create.
Kenny
and
Bernstein
branch
had a
out.
NASCAR team. Like, yeah. Look,
I'm just saying,
there's a
watch
lot
it
of
and
drag
see
racing
what I'm talking about. If you haven't watched it, it's a really good thing. I mean, again, I watched Talladega this weekend, by the way, which was, I've started watching way more NASCAR, and the fact that they don't let these guys practice too much, I was like, you guys, you're getting ready to go wide open on this freaking Talladega track. I was waiting for something to happen way sooner than it did. So, but it was good. I like all this stuff.
What a mess. What a mess. Gentlemen,
Alan Reinhart famously likes to tell people that Rick Hendricks started his career as a drag racer. Yeah, Joe's got to go hang out with Michael Heiner.
Michael Heiner, hear it from Heiner for Patreons only, secret pro stock stuff. If you guys want to add to my questions for Ask the Tech Director with Lonnie Grimm, you can fire me an email, joe@wforadio.com, or slide into my DM. You like that? Your question or your topic, right? That's what you're supposed to say.
I love Joe Costello.
Slide into my DM.
Joe, when do you get into Charlotte?
At 2 something on Thursday.
What about you, Jason?
When do you get into Charlotte?
He's probably in early. I don't get into like 6.
I get in at like 9:30. I got to come from San Antonio to Charlotte.
So nobody
you
can
flying
go
in
to
late.
Garofolo's with me. You guys
Why
are
not?
abandoning me for
Almost
Garofolo.
6. I'll be there at 7.
All right.
Can
My
we
plan
go on
lands
a
at-
different night? What are we talking about?
My plane lands at 5:45. Why can't I just meet you there?
Text me when you get there. Eddie from Garofolo's has already reached out. He's like, would you like your usual table? All this stuff. And
And the answer was yes. I'll meet you there.
now the answer will be yes. And
Yes.
and Logan, you're out, correct? For
I'm
Friday.
out.
Okay.
Yeah, because I got my kid's graduating from boot camp in San Antonio.
I
so
think
gotta-
that is a very worthwhile thing to miss.
It is absolutely.
Italian meal for
I got to go
yes.
watch them.
Somebody in the Logan household finally graduated from something.
Did we cover everything you guys wanted to cover? Was there anything else that I didn't weigh in on that I needed to?
We just brought you in just to say hi, Joe.
I figured you had another guest. I was wondering, like, when are they going to bump me?
Is there a story I should know here about Hooters?
Hooters.
Nicole and I, we got kicked out of a Hooters, and I was there with a couple other people, and they thought we were being loud. We weren't being loud.
They kicked you out.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to be a Hooters.
Historically speaking, they don't kick you out unless you are, in fact, actually being.
By the way, on this tour, by the way,
menace.
Jason Galvin, you pulled a Logan on Saturday night in Vegas, because I would show up totally wrecked for pre-race. So I was glad that happened to you. But I've been thrown out of plenty of places on this tour. I got thrown out of the CVI at Maple Grove, that stupid town, wherever that is. Anyways, that lady thought I was being loud there too. I was like, I'm not being loud. Was that guy over there? Get out of here! Out of here!
Are you the Aaron Boone of drag racing?
The who?
The Aaron Boone of drag racing?
Oh
couldn't
man,
be.
poor
How
Aaron
big was
Boone.
that? He got tossed so early. That was
Yeah.
the best.
For the fan in the stands, you are the Aaron Boone of drag racing.
I
The
guess
fan
I
in the
could
stand
be.
says something and gets Aaron Boone tossed.
I love it. Yeah, dude. I've been booted out of some places, man. I don't know.
We got
whatever.
pyro this weekend, guys. We got pyro.
Yeah, because we're
remember?
running super late on Friday. You know, there's
Yeah,
pyro.
of course.
Pyro. I gotta-
Friday night. We don't run till like 7:00 Friday night, right?
Can't wait. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Yeah.
By the
and
way, if you really want to go to a 4-wide race, go to the Vegas race because we start early. We get out of the track early with nitro cars. Not Joe, but if
both.
you-
You got to do both, right? Costello didn't get out of there. I said,
yeah,
but that's fine.
It's
You got to go to both.
they are drastically different events, even though they're
Yes.
both 4-wide.
And okay, listen, and as a concession to you guys, Derek is in the chat section. And he came up with a great idea. The 4-headed broom. Maybe it doesn't work. Maybe it's not a good idea. We'll
you think
see.
this is a great idea?
He
Seriously?
says 4-headed Wally.
No. that's
Now
not
we're
right.
getting weird,
Eric,
right?
you
Like
brought-
that would be freaky. All right.
Yeah. Stranger Things, NHRA
What-
style.
Why don't we
like-
just make it the 4-headed horseman of the apocalypse? Jeez, what are we
Yes,
talking
the
about?
Wally on a horse of the apocalypse. All right, and on that note, I'm out of here.
Bye, Joe. Thanks
Bye,
for
Joe.
coming in. You're the best.
Bye, guys.
we should leave
That's Joe
too?
Costello. Thank
We've
you.
been here long enough.
I know. I gotta go talk. I gotta talk to my banker, dude. I had like somebody hacked into my payroll account, dude. Oh yeah,
Shouldn't do that.
I know. I'm
I
not happy.
have to go back to real work too. I'm gonna
I
get
know.
yelled at.
I know. Well, Jason Galvin, thank you, dude.
Thank you, J-Lo.
We will see everybody in Charlotte. Please come say hi to us if we're there. Do we have any more stickers? I know we've
Yeah,
been
we
giving
got
out stickers. All right, good.
Get that stickers.
We've been giving out
We got
stickers,
stickers.
left and right. So if you see us, I mean, I was giving them out, and it's awesome. It's good stuff. Come see us, support us. Go to our YouTube channel, like, subscribe, all of that fun stuff. Hit the bell so you know when we're coming on. We're usually coming on after Joe Costello. But who knows? Maybe we'll do something fun. And if you're out and about in Charlotte, you'll probably see us doing some fun stuff there too. Jason Galvin, travel safe. You're not flying American.
You
are
too? No.
All right, good. All right, we will talk more about that next week. We'll see you guys after Charlotte.